Hey everyone, welcome to another BTM screencast. Today we'll be going over Chapter 16, Fastening Tools. So let's talk about pneumatic tools. Pneumatic tools are powered by air. You need an air compressor or some sort of source for compressed air. Pneumatic staplers and nailers are powered by compressed air, which we just went over, and there's various types of air compressors. Commonly, they're called nailing guns. They're used for quick fastening of framing, subfloors, wall and roof sheathing, roof shingles, exterior finish, and interior trim. Here's an example of some of the different pneumatic nailers that you'll see. The heavy-duty framing gun drives smooth shank headed nails up to 3 1/4 inches, ring shank nails up to 2 3/8 of an inch, and screw shank nails 3 inches long. Light-duty versions drive smooth shank nails up to 2 3/8 of an inch, and ring shank nails up to 1 3/4 inches. And here you can see this gentleman's using one right here to do some framing. It's hard to see what size nails that he has, but you can see he has glasses on. Here's another man using it. This again. Here's the feed coming in from the air compressor. And you can see he's nailing down some subflooring. Finish nailers drive finish nails from 1 to 2 inches long, so they're not as long as the ones that we talked about before. Brad nailers drive both slight-headed and medium-headed brads. Again, these are for finish. The roofing nailer fastens asphalt and fiberglass shingles. And here's a finish nailer. You can see it's quite a bit smaller, and this person here is fastening some trim. And here we have this gentleman here again. It looks like he's doing some crown molding. Feed from his air compressor. Now, one thing you'll notice is the feeds on the finish nailers and the framing nailer guns. They don't necessarily have this. These are for roofing. They're collated. So what you'll see is they fit into a coil and they kind of spin around. And you can see that these nails aren't as big as what you can do in the finish nail guns or in the framing nail guns. There's also cordless guns where you don't need an air compressor. Instead, they use a disposable fuel cell, and they have a battery on it, and it sparks it, and it's like a controlled explosion. Cordless framing nailers drive nails from 2 to 3/4 of an inch long, so very comparable to the pneumatic ones. The cordless finish nailer drives finish nails from 3/4 to 2 1/2 inches long, so again, very comparable to the pneumatic powered ones. And here's a picture of a cordless nailer. This is a pass load. This is a very popular brand. Here you see your fuel cell. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions. A lot of them, if you're using a pneumatic nail gun, they call for you to add oil to it. If you don't, the insides can end up getting seized or they won't work right. Always use the right nail or staple for the job. This goes for anything, whether it's pneumatic or not. Load the magazine with staples or nails. Connect the air supply. Press the trigger and place the nose of the gun on the work and pull the trigger. So many of them, unless they're modified, the nose needs to get pushed down. If it doesn't, you could hold the trigger and nothing will happen until you push the nose down. Always disconnect the air supply when finished. So now we're going to be talking about powder actuated drivers. The 3 common styles are headed type, threaded type, and eyelet type. And you can see this gentleman here is using a ram set. This is a powder actuated tool, and he's going to be anchoring up into this I-beam. The powder charges are color coded to identify charge strengths. Basically what they are is it's a bullet, uh, it's a 22, and the 22 drives the nail into concrete or steel. Always follow the manufacturer's directions. Always, because this is something that people can get hurt, and it does happen. Make sure the shield is in the proper position. Make sure the drive pin will not go all the way through the material. Load the driver with the pin first and the cartridge second. So if you think about why you wouldn't want the pin to go through the material, again, like I said, this is very similar to what a gun is. And if your drive pin goes through the material, that projectile has the potential to hurt or kill somebody. Always select the proper fastener. Different ones are rated differently. Some of them will go into steel, some of them will go into concrete. Select the smallest powder charge that will do the job. Again, you don't want to overdo it and push that fastener through the material. Always keep the tool pointed at the work. Press tool against the work surface and pull the trigger. Generally, before you do this, you do a look around, and if there's people in there, you let them know that you will be using it. Always remember to wear safety goggles. You need ear protection for this, and always keep the tool pointed at the work. In conclusion, pneumatic staplers and nailers are used for quick fastening of many types of materials. Nailing guns come in various types and sizes. Cordless guns use a disposable fuel cell. Always use great care and practice all safety procedures when operating power tools. One other thing to keep in mind when you are working with pneumatic tools, at the end of the day, when you're done with work, you always want to make sure everything's turned off and drain the tanks. In the tanks, you don't want to keep them pressurized if you don't need to, and many times if you're using a portable air compressor, there will be a moisture buildup inside the tanks, and there's always a bung on the end to make sure that you're able to drain the water from the tanks.